Go. Let's go.
Hello, everybody. It's Quan, and I'm back with another video. And first of all, I would like to thank all my subscribers so far that have subbed to my channel. I don't pressure anybody to really sub me or not. So basically, I know those are the ones that actually, want to be bothered, listening to what I have to say and whatever. So for that, I thank you. Uh, this particular video is concerning the podcast Gamers at Large and what I plan to do from here on out with the guys concerning it. But first things first, I would like to give a shout out to Jay and Jamie, Jay Fleming and Jamie Butterworth. They're, my co-hosts there, as well as Gamer Nate 78. That's my road dog right there, and yeah, he's my visual guru extraordinaire. And we have, of course, Nintendo, where cooler heads prevail. He's always there. All right. And, of course, we can never forget Mr. T, the man, the myth, the legend. Now, just to let you guys know, if you'd like to be a guest on the podcast, feel free to inbox me, or if, preferably, if you could give me hit me up on Google Plus. Okay, that might be even better. Quan Space Manchu. And there you go. If you want to be part of the podcast. Now, remember, this podcast, we try our best not to use excessive, explicit language and stuff like that. We keep it PG-13, not quite R, not quite G. So yeah, we try to keep it, not too salty and whatever. Okay, and we do our best not to troll or anything of the like. So if you're coming on to the podcast with that intent, be advised that this is not the podcast for you. Uh, Also, if anyone has a topic that they would like discussed on the podcast, now remember, even though most of the people in the podcast are like very heavy Nintendo fans, it doesn't mean that we're not open to other genre games and game consoles, etc. And we're RPG fans, most of us, and we're not opposed to other genres, including shooters. Okay, I know I've mentioned that shooters are dude bro and all that, but I just meant the excessive nature of, of them being hammered upside our head and saying, "Hey, look, this is the latest one. No, here goes another one. Hey, here's another one. We got a whole shelf dedicated over here. Look, 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 look." Okay, yeah, that gets boring, but I mean, I own Battlefield 3. I own, Counter Strike, etc. and whatnot. So, I mean, I've played my fair share of shooters as well. Hell, one of my favorite ones of all time was GoldenEye. So, and that's from way back. Even though it's not exactly the military shooter, but it's quasi, it's paramilitary, you could say. But the bottom line is, people, like I said, we're open to all topics and genres so long as they're done in good taste. So feel free to ask. It doesn't matter who you are, as long as it's an honest question. All right. Also, be advised that anything broadcast in the podcast, if otherwise noted, is owned by this channel or any of the contributors that are visibly seen on the podcast. So, in other words, you can't go around reproducing this material as you see fit. Yes, I will flag your ass. I have no problem doing it. You already know that about me. Okay? That whole mess about, oh, don't be a snitch. It's not a snitch. It's just common sense. You don't take other people's stuff. End of story. Anywho, so, uh, all that aside, like I said, if you have any topics that you would like discussed, feel free to hit me up on Google Plus. If you want to add me to Google Plus, hey, that's fine too. If you want to add me to the Wii U, that's fine too. Even though I have few spaces left on my friends list, I wish they would expand it to 200. But hey, what can you do? It is what it is. Maybe I could drop a hint to Nintendo. Hint, 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 hint. Uh, Another thing is this: to those who are opposed to the restrictions on Nintendo, I mean, the apathy that people shown towards what's being done, amazes me. I think that adults should have the freedom to communicate with each other. So yeah, and this is, this is not kissing up or nothing to Nate or whatever, but I agree with him that we should, as adults, be able to share our contact info as we see fit to each other directly. I mean, even if Nintendo charges a dollar verification fee to verify that we're an adult using our, our credit card or something, I'd be down with that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what's a dollar? But at least they could verify, that you are said owner of the account and blah blah blah, and you're an adult. You know what I'm saying? If they could do that, I'd be cool with it. Anywho, getting back to the point here, any topics you want to discuss, feel free to ask. And well, let me wrap up by saying, well, as I always say, whatever's clever.